this start? Chat. Okay, all right, and tonight you're you, Liz, not Corin, so that's great. She's like, what? I don't remember that. Remember last
What are you talking-
month you logged on with Corin's link?
Oh,
so it
right.
said Corin, that's right, you weren't here, you couldn't see it, so it was
Okay.
great. It was funny.
I was like, what?
Sorry, never mind. So I'm gonna call the meeting to order. And just as a reminder, we're recording this for any guests, and we do have a guest tonight, Tom Meyer, who wants an opportunity just to speak for a couple minutes, so. Corin, can you run a little timer for us while
Yeah.
Tom is talking when we get there?
Yeah, let me know.
Okay, all right, I guess we'll do roll call.
So Carrie,
Here,
Ginger, I am here. Emily, did anybody hear from Emily?
Emily, no, Horton, no.
Okay. Bill,
Yes.
Liz.
There's Emily.
Oh, good.
Here.
Come on in. Come
Just in
here.
time.
Oh, I'll just sit right here. Thank you. Laura. Yes. Okay, Joe,
Here.
Jerry,
No, he's not on.
okay, Corin,
I'm here.
Emily, other Emily.
She's not coming.
She won't be not coming, okay. And then Yvonne.
Here. Thank you, Ginger. I know everybody got the minutes. Hopefully you had a chance to read through them. Did anybody have any comments, or if not, does anybody want to make a motion to approve those minutes?
If the date you change on the meeting date, next meeting.
Did you check that?
11. Next meeting, it says 9/11.
Okay, that's correct.
At first.
Oh, on the minute.
Labor Day weekend.
Oh, the tap.
Not
Oh,
on
no.
the agenda on the minute.
Yeah, so that's good. Anybody want to make a motion then?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
So these minutes are approved. And we'll go on with, our second, we have a guest here tonight. I've just met Tom. And I think he's joining us. He said he wants to just observe, learn about Leave the Leaves, but you might have a couple of comments. Take it away.
Okay,
Like I said, it's good. Well,
thank you for the opportunity. My name's Tom Meyer, live over in 17 West Cedar here. Went through the, I guess, when you had no mow April. Myself and some of my neighbors were not happy the way that it ended up being. I think it made our city look very unkept. Was not happy with the way the entrances into Webster were, our parks. And I think what happened was that the city made it into no mow April, no mow May, and no mow June. When you look at some of the pictures of some of the parks and stuff, it was terrible. And I think the initiative was to maybe promote bee growth or something like that. I'm not quite sure what it was, in my opinion. That, grass doesn't promote bee growth, clover and all flowers and those types of things. So after going through that, I wanted to learn about what Leave the Leaves is. I did some, research online, and when I look at if the idea is to have leaves not be picked up, a study from the University of Minnesota says that that's only good when it's 20% coverage, canopy coverage of a lawn. Anything more than that promotes suffocation of the grass, promotes diseases in the grass, promotes rodents and that type of thing. I think most of the people's property in Webster have much more than 20% coverage of their lawns by trees. And so I kind of want to learn what this is about and have additional input into it. I think in most cases, our Webster people, they like tidy yards, they love beautiful gardens, and I'm very green. My wife is part of the Herb Society. we promote that, but I'm just wanting to learn what this is about, because I personally, and a few of my neighbors were not happy with what the No Mo April ended up being.
Perfect time. Well, thanks for your comments.
Thank
I
you for this opportunity.
appreciate it.
I have a question. Could we get a copy of that study? Is that-
I can pull it up and I
Okay,
didn't bring it with me, but I
Did you,
can pull it
what
up.
study was it?
University of Minnesota.
Write it down. University of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Well, let's see, I know on the 21st of September, I think that's a Thursday, I'm gonna be on like a Zoom with either the mayor or our council liaison, who's not here tonight, Emily Hickson. And I wish she was here because she could answer some of, I think respond to some of your stuff too, but I am gonna be on with her, and I think it's one of the webinars they're doing, like open
Okay,
talks with the city. Basically, we're gonna talk about,
I did send some emails to
Lead the
Marie
lead.
Peoples
okay,
about it, and she
maybe that's
responded
why.
with some of the reasons why, but didn't make sense to me, so.
Okay,
But I appreciate the
well,
opportunity to give my comments.
yeah, thank you. I had an extra copy of our normal April sort of information that we sent out, and that's the website, and then some references that we put together, so I'll give you that. Oh, actually, Emily, you probably haven't seen these because you're that new. But those are for you too.
thank you.
So we're gonna be talking about that in more detail on Thursday, the 21st. And I don't know, do you know anything about that series of conversations they're having? Facilitated, you could probably call Jennifer Starkey or email her to get the link, and you get the Friday page. The newsletter that the city puts out on Fridays.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
It's
go to the-
30 years.
go to the website and sign up, there's a ton of good information in there. And they talk,
What was her name? Starkey?
Jennifer Starkey, actually, that's who popped in here before.
Oh, okay.
She's, what's her title?
Please, with
Outreach.
communications. yeah.
Outreach and Communications Director, so she's the one who starts the Thursday, did you guys know this was happening? It's new to me too. I think it's like chats with the council, basically. It's gonna be on Zoom, it's gonna be fairly regular, I'm not sure how regular, but on the 21st, they asked me to speak about a couple of different things with Emily, our liaison, and maybe it was in response to some of the questions that are coming their way.
Okay. Thank you.
I have another question. First of all, thanks for coming.
No, good, I appreciate the opportunity.
Do you have a neighborhood organization?
No, not really. I mean, it's just talking to, neighbors on our street, so,
Oh, okay with that.
yeah,
That would be useful. Okay.
yeah,
It worked.
that's nothing formal.
Yeah.
Well, and then to answer your the leaves questions, we've got a little bit of that coming up on our agenda. You might not hear all the answers that you're looking for, but
Okay,
you could certainly ask at that public forum online.
thank you.
All right, anybody have any other questions for our guest? Okay, let's go on to old business then. Leave the leaves update. So I'm gonna have, actually, Tom, I'll ask you to pass a couple of these to your neighbors there. Sure, and then if you can pass those around here.
Okay.
Um,
I'm passing these down, so.
yeah, that's right, yeah.
Sorry.
If you, yeah, that's perfect. So this was the one pager that we gave to city council for them to sort of approve the leads initiative. You guys kind of know where we've been on this path. And let's see, Corin and I were in the 4th of July parade, which was nice. We got a lot of cheers about no mo, and because we had that little no mo sign on our bigger sign. And then I think I'll just got some information out about the initiative using the QR code. We have been okayed to purchase yard signs, and through the city, I think we're able to, with our budget, purchase signs in advance, and then people can, just the public, if you want one, you can sign up, get a sign, pay for it, and pick it up at the rec center. And the final cost for the signs was, well, what the final number I heard from Jen was $6 a sign. Just,
Wow.
yeah,
that's
way
good.
less than I thought it would be. So after talking to Scott Davis, he said who just saw them at cost and that they would take care of sort of the business end of that for us. So I'm hoping they'll just keep a list of names and emails so that we can contact those people and see if they have any questions or think about them when we're advertising some of our educational sessions or other volunteer things we're doing. I know last time we talked about just if the cost of the sign was too much, we talked about just posting that image on the webpage. So I think we'll go ahead and do that in case people don't have budget or can't get to the rec center. They could print that if they want to. I think that's about where we are. I showed you guys the sign the last time.
I'll probably hold that.
No.
So I went to Novel Neighbor to see if they would distribute.
Yeah.
Yes, they will, of course, be happy to sell whatever signs the city.
Okay, how did they do that? I know you're gonna check on.
Well,
We
the
just-
process is that they'll sell signs for anyone, but the maker or the printer has to have them ready. And they will act as a distribution point and then, send the money back to the city.
Okay,
So they don't buy them.
right. We would have to take them to, just like we are. So
Exactly. But one question I did not ask, which I only thought of today, is whether they charge a fee for that. So I will find that out,
Okay,
but they'll be happy to do that.
okay. Well, and unless, I guess now that the Scott has said it's okay for
Sure,
to
rec
pick them up
center,
at the rec center, I'm
yeah.
a little bit less concerned about
Yes, exactly.
that, yeah. Okay, can't think of anything else. Yes,
I've got a first draft of social media stuff about it. I'm gonna wait until I see Tom's publication from Minnesota so I can evaluate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where should I email that?
send it to me.
Probably Carrie.
Gary?
Yeah,
We can get you with Carrie's email address, I think.
yeah, it should be somewhere, or you
Should
can
be on
send
the
it to
city's web-
Yvonne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be on the city's
Superintendent,
website.
Yvonne's our liaison
Okay.
to the.
And I'll be able to evaluate the study and see if there's other studies that indicate comparable materials.
Yeah, that was just a quick search that I did.
Yeah. And so I'll include that if it's useful information when we reach out to citizens about this. If there's guidelines like we want to do this much or this much, and the study indicates that, I would want to tell citizens that before we go. So thank you.
And to me, it's more about what the city's doing. Versus individual people in the property. If they want to do that, that's fine, I got.
Yeah.
But in some of the cases, particularly with what the NOMO and how our area looked, it may not be that same with the leaves out.
Yeah,
First draft of
Yeah.
that ready, and I noticed lead fall that. So
I know we gotta
it's
get
about-
on it.
I think within the next week or two, I'll go ahead with that. That sound good?
That sounds great. And I did email Jenny to maybe put something, if she approves the sign and we get the quote and can get them, turned around in a fairly short time, which I think is possible. She said she could post something in the Friday page and maybe we could even post something in the Kirkwood.
Oh.
Post the Kirkwood Times, so we'll see. And this is just a initiative for residents of the city. Not that the city wouldn't do it, but we're thought we want residents to get involved. Okay, any other comments, questions about leave the leaves? I wanted to ask you guys how many signs you think we should order.
No, it was pretty popular.
It was, will be,
Remind me how many we ended up having, just,
I think it was 350 at least.
Did they all go?
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah. And I know we were like on the fence, like who from this group was gonna buy one because we thought they were gonna be more expensive, but I mean.
I'll get one at $6.
Yeah. That's what I think,
Yeah.
even though my yard's not that visible from a public thoroughfare, I still feel like I need to support. I guess I was thinking maybe start with 100 and see how quickly they go. Cause that's what we did with Nomo, was we started with 100 and. Right,
How nimble can we be on that?
I have to ask that question.
If we order more, is
Like
it
what the
gonna take
turnaround
3
time
weeks?
is.
Her turnaround was really, on the Nomo is very
It's
fast.
quick, I remember.
Yeah,
Like
I
40
think she
hours or
did
something.
two turnarounds.
Wow.
If I remember correctly.
Can we
So
post
what do you
some,
guys,
We could start at 150 and.
What, Liz?
can we post some sort of like pre-sign up something to give us an idea?
That's it.
the Scott Davis did not recommend doing that. He said that's not a good idea.
Okay,
Isn't that how you read the email?
I think it's harder to keep track of who's picked up and whatnot, so
So
they've
that's-
been through it with other things, so.
It's more onus on the city staff, so
Gotcha.
I think it would be safe to start with 100 or 150.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll talk to Jenny again and give her that number and make sure she's given me a stamp of approval on the sign and then go from there. Okay, now any last question? Okay, great.
Can I ask you a question?
I guess technically you go ahead. I don't know if you're supposed to, but I'm open to a question.
Has there been any discussion about, absolutely leaf mulch is wonderful, great. But to have a service come in and so the people could take leaves there to mulch up, so they have leaf mulch or something like that? I'm not a proponent of leaving leaves on the grass. Particularly a thick amount, here it says 2 inches. But leaf mulch is incredible for gardens and your areas that you want to promote. I'm just asking if there's ever any discussions about how do we take the leaves that people collect, mulch them and provide that as leaf mulch?
it's already happening, actually. My understanding is that yard waste in Webster is picked up and taken to a central place where it is converted into mulches or compost and then sold back to the public. So
Yeah, right.
it becomes.
So maybe that's where we, take our leaves.
Just leave those
Waste
composting maybe or
management,
I
something.
think it is centralized composting. Yeah,
But, Okay.
making it into a free service would be awesome, but I don't think we can do that. So that's our current situation.
Yeah.
Maybe we could make some kind of recommendations because, I mean, for the same price as having that service one time, you can buy a leaf mulcher and just do that in your yard.
Yeah, that's true.
My lawn.
So,
yeah.
Do a lot of, most.
Yeah. Well, I do have to finish the narrative for the webpage. I've started that. This is some of that. It's not all of it, but I know somewhere in my text or the text that's living on the website in draft form talks about, not leaving a thick layer on your lawn because it can be
Right
a
here.
problem, but
It says right here not to leave the leaves, like not to leave them on turf grass. It would be
Yeah.
Too much to rake them to your gardens and stuff.
yeah, so I think we kind of covered that. It was important. I mean, it's as important for us to make sure this looks good for the city, right? As it is for that it works for the critters, for the ecosystem, and the homeowner. So, we want to make sure all the bases are covered. All right. Okay. The next item of, business is, Green Our City. Our tree planting initiative, and that's for me and you to update on, Joe. And Liz, I drug her into helping too. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about was the video that we were going to wishfully develop with Jen Starkey. It's taken a little bit more time and effort to get that information together. Jen has been helping, but she's got a lot of other priorities as well. So we are gonna work on that over the next year to have ready for our next planting. And in the meantime, we're doing just an informational sheet, kind of like this, about the benefits of trees and why plant them in the public right of way. The initiative and how to take care of and maintain that young tree. And I found a couple pretty good links to, I think it was the ISA, International Society of Arborists website, that covered planting. It was a really good demo of planting. And then I forget what the care video was, but I think it was out of University of Minnesota, actually, a video about tree care. So basically, I'll be sending everyone a digital information packet with those two videos. It's not what we imagined, but for this first go around, we think it's great. Next on my list, Liz, I had the cut sheets. I know you took a lot of time. You guys remember we were going to give have a leave behind for the homeowner, just a page about their particular tree that we're planting, and a little bit of care and a little bit about why the tree's so great. So Liz was helping me do some cutting and pasting. How did that go?
Well, I wanted to talk to you about it tonight because I have the headers. I have found a sheet on each of our trees. That took a minute just because a few times I had to diverge from the one site that I was on, but Emily pointed me to some really good, just like informational fact sheets on stuff that we're planting. So I just need to find a way to sort of make it all, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be too uniform, but I want to give the same information on each one.
Yeah.
Fit it in with the header, and then they're, so do you want it to be down to like one page and try to cut it down a little bit, or do you want me to just like put what's already on all of those? Because some of them are 2 pages.
I think one page would be nice.
Yeah, just like a little sheet. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll narrow it down to just like, it's not really planting info though, right?
No, it's just about that particular tree species, like
that
what
shouldn't
its
be.
habit is, why it's a great shade or short or whatever tree.
One
Okay.
big tree on this thing.
Yeah,
It's a tree that some residents who've applied for a public right of way tree are getting. So they're all native trees, most of them. We have one non-native, 2, but great street trees.
So yeah, the Green Our City initiative, fill him in, since you really don't know, like we opened up a tree planting for residents in the right of way, free of charge. Us, a bunch of volunteers will come install a tree, but you, the resident, is to steward that tree and water that tree for the first 2 years to get it established. In the city, Webster Groves' Public Works Department takes over that tree. So the funds used from the tree preservation planning for like construction, all that fund is going back to re-green our city. So that's the Green Our City initiative.
So the public right of way areas are,
Like it can vary, like each street may have a 20-foot right of way or may have a
with the one
right of
between
way.
the sidewalk and the street.
Yeah,
actually.
and sometimes they'll have, a street with no sidewalk and they might, behind the curb is a 12-foot right of way.
Yeah.
So residents can voluntarily ask for that tree to be installed in their right of way. So,
all people who signed up to have that installed at
Yeah.
their.
We're gonna talk about that on that call too, so
Okay.
join in for that. Joe, could you give us an update on the trees
the
order?
trees have been ordered. I spoke with Dan Munchesky. The delivery date is October 3rd.
October 3rd?
October 3rd. He has, I can push it back to the 29th initial. He said he has 3/4 of trees in singles already tagged for us to go.
Oh, then they take care of them.
So-
Exactly.
And that's why we decided October 3rd.
Yeah,
Instead of a week prior, then we had to water them, figure out a way to keep them watered. So
yeah.
we're planting October 7th.
I guess I should make sure that October 3rd is good with Todd and Andre.
Probably.
Yeah. I emailed them today with the wrong date. Cause I thought it was earlier,
Mhm.
so I might have been looking at an old date, so I will coordinate with them and make sure. But that works. And I told him we could come, I volunteered you and me,
That's fine.
one of us could come water.
Water is, yeah.
If
I
we
don't
need
mind.
to.
Yeah.
Did you all get my email with the Boy Scouts and the Boy Scout families that wanted to help out?
Well, you emailed me and I asked you a few questions and you were gonna get some answers, I think.
Oh, yeah, but since then I included my friend Amy. I think I sent it, maybe it didn't go through. But since then I narrowed it, you know, she figured out who wants to actually do it. It's 4 Boy Scouts, 1 family that can show up on the 7th. And I just put all 3 of you in an email and I'll double check that that went through to firm out the details or whatever.
Okay, so it's one family basically with 4
One
scouts
family.
and then,
Plus 4 separate scouts. So I think it might be like a family of 4 plus 4 scouts that can be dropped off or show up or whatever and go off in the groups to help. So
do they have, are you going to be in charge of them?
I can be team scout. Yeah.
Okay.
They're older, they're like 7th grade,
Can
so
they
it's not
just
super young
volunteer?
kids or anything
I
either.
think they have to, don't they have to be supervised by a parent or something? Isn't that what the form
Under
says?
17, it just says that, you know, somebody is signing for them.
So
So
they need
there's
to
the-
sign a
there's-
waiver and stay with this other scout family, maybe? Is that sufficient?
I didn't hear that.
That sign, they do need to sign a waiver and an adult needs to sign for them, basically. So you could be,
Yeah.
you could volunteer to be in charge of them.
Sure. Yeah, or maybe they'll stay with this other scout family.
Yeah.
I don't know them personally because I don't have a scout, but I was just trying to rally people for us. So
Yeah, yeah.
let me make sure that email went through and we can have that conversation.
Okay, that sounds good. Thanks for talking to them and thinking about it. And I'm sure one of us could go with that group of people and then talk to those kids
I'm
about
gonna
tree
go-
planting and,
Totally. I'm happy to too. So whatever happens is fine.
And we do need to figure out how we're gonna organize individual teams, whether we do how it was last year, where we broke into 4 different groups. It's 40 trees. Public Works is supposed to pre-drill the holes.
Mhm.
So
yeah, I
that
think.
should go,
I think you and I can, using the spreadsheet that we've created with the areas, kind of
break
divide
it
it
down
up that
by
way.
section of the city.
We're also having a meeting just before this, right? So we can confirm that
We are. Thanks
October
for the
2nd.
reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
second and first, I'm not sure. We can finalize plans if we haven't.
Yeah. October 2nd.
all over the city this
Mhm.
It's a total of 40 trees?
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think, Corin, you were gonna be available.
I should be, yeah.
I'm there.
So, Laura, husband, Steve.
Jason. But yours,
Jason,
yours.
my husband. For some reason, I thought he was a Steve too. Good memory.
It's okay.
Ginger, I forgot if you
I'll
are.
be there.
Okay. Tom, you coming to plant trees? Bill, you gonna, oh, you know what?
Walking
Somebody take
distance.
pictures.
I do need someone to take pictures. I don't know if Emily, are you available on the 7th? Would you wanna
Sure.
kind of just, what Linda did was she kind of just made sure she stopped in at all the groups and took photos, so
Oh, sure.
I can give you more
Okay, but they're,
details.
you know, they're phone photos, so
That's
You got a,
perfect. No,
you got a simple place you're keeping pictures.
no. Short answer.
Well, I've got a number of Arbor days that I
You can make a
photographed and stuff, you know.
Well, maybe-
Drive or something.
You could send them to Jenny Starkey. She could maybe use them.
She might have a file.
Well,
archive
you know,
somewhere.
they're not archiving photos from the Green Space Commission though.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay, trees ordered.
Trees ordered, mulch ordered,
Yeah,
delivery. October 3rd, and if that does not work with Todd, let me know and I'll
Okay.
get a hold of Danny. Danny's confident that he can get the trees delivered that day. Cause he has 3/4 of them in singles already,
okay.
so.
Okay, so Liz, do you think you could get those cut sheets done? Mhm. That's not, neither one of them is my phone. I even have a calendar.
What about like sometime next week over to you?
That would be great. And then maybe Joe, would you have time to read through them with me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
And
send them
then-
to both of you just to keep it short.
Yeah, that would be great. And then there's only gonna be 40 of them, so printing should not be an issue really. Okay, so yeah, if you do that, then we could make the deadline for printing just a week before.
Cool. Yes, I can.
I have the magnets we gave folks last time. Do you guys remember those? They were like a square magnet. I have some of those still from last year. I don't have 40, but I think there's a couple people that don't actually need a magnet. One person got one last year. And I don't think Ginny needs a magnet. Do you, Joe? It seems like she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
And there were a couple other people I thought of that probably don't need reminders about, tree care. So, and then the only other thing were buckets. If I order buckets from Lowe's, could you pick them up?
Do we get a discount from them?
You just don't pay tax.
Sounds good to me.
I probably need to order them,
Okay,
so 40, you want 40?
39, one guy said he
39.
didn't want a bucket.
Okay.
He has a bucket.
Okay. Yeah.
The 5 gallon kind. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for the reminder, Corin. We will be meeting on the 2nd, the Monday before the planting day, which is the 7th. And we'll be meeting, I will write all this down and get it to you guys, but we'll be meeting at 9 o'clock at the rec center on the south side. Parking lot.
Trees, yeah.
Where we
trees
met,
Should be
that's-
delivered, mulch should be delivered,
Yeah.
then just show up and put the tree in the
Right.
ground. and
And Yvonne will bring
Backfill
some
and mulch.
shovels,
Easy.
so bring,
Should be.
should be.
Yeah.
And anything that they cannot pre-drill, I'll do. Be the guy who goes and hand digs them.
Okay, I will,
Boy.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. So hopefully they can.
Let
You
me
know
know.
what?
35 at least. Okay.
Pretty good at digging.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, because if they mark the get locates and they cannot, which reminds me, we need to get locates 2 weeks
Yeah.
before. If they cannot pre-drill that hole, we need to make a note and I'll go the day before that morning.
I had started an email today that I didn't yet send to Todd, so I'll mention. I had utility mark in there.
Okay.
And then I'll mention that about planting, digging if necessary. Okay, I think that's it about Green Our City.
One question. This may be a dumb question, but just, we considered, I guess, the type of tree that we're not eventually pushing up sidewalks and streets and that kind of stuff.
Careful.
They just had to be properly planted, right? Because
Absolutely.
That's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
And the city's arborist has been involved with the process.
Sorry.
And to clarify, I'm a certified arborist, Carrie's a certified arborist, Yvonne's a certified arborist, so we're all very like in touch with that, so.
Okay, the next item of old business is the native gardening volunteer lead. I think I talked to you about that last time, guys.
Yeah.
It was kind of a proposal I was making. And I've created a couple documents and Yvonne created a list of sites. So just as a reminder, So as a reminder, Yvonne's staff has been pinched a bit. And their mowing contractor was taken away, so some of these gardens need some attention, and my worry is that these native gardens are not gonna look as good as they could. So I asked Yvonne to list the ones that are, I guess, most prominent, her priority gardens. And I'll send that list to you guys, so it's a list of, I don't know how many spaces.
I just kept adding them up.
Wow.
So we don't have to cover them all, but what I'd like us to do is volunteer for one of these spaces to be a volunteer lead. So here, my example is, I'm signing up to lead a cleanup from 9 to 10. This is actually the third Saturday of the month. And that's, I think, if we can each spend a couple of hours with one or two people, hopefully we'll talk to our neighbors and they'll be excited to want to come help us in the garden. We can make a big difference. And if we get a handle on some of the areas that haven't been as attended to because of the mowing stuff, then maybe we can move on to another area and expand what we're doing. So I'll send this out. Take a look at it and go ahead and sign up for one of those areas just once a month. And then the other thing I did, and I'm still trying to coordinate with Katie Kirby at the rec center. She's the superintendent of recreation. I created this blurb that I can share with you guys too, to send to Katie once you figure out which park you want to volunteer in and the time. So this is basically anything that's underlined here, you can just change the name, the date, etc. But the rest of the information can stay the same. And she hopefully will be using this to create the event or a series of events in the city's calendar. And then I'm trying to coordinate with Jenny to just get the word out about how to sign up for these things. So
And I would put an end time too, just so people know what they're in for.
Okay,
And
you mean
some of
up
these
here?
gardens,
It's
it
probably
will take
better to
you
give a longer-
15 minutes, so you could do two.
Let's say it's probably better to give a longer time than. what
People
you think it-
usually are done after about an hour, they
Mm.
really are,
Mhm.
so.
Question for you,
Wouldn't be too
Yvonne.
ambitious.
Let's say
Yes.
I volunteer. Where does all this material go? Do I just leave it in the street? You guys
Well,
come pick it up like it's?
You'll coordinate with me. What I'd like to do is not make more work for the staff.
Mhm.
And we'll probably leave, if it's a big job, we'll leave a dump trailer there. Or we'll leave some kind of cart or something that's easy for us to pick up with forks and put on the truck.
Okay,
So we'll arrange
okay.
something.
That's a good point. I forgot
Just,
to.
yeah, I
I
mean,
forgot to mention, I did talk to Yvonne, and before we would go to these, I think it would be good for all of us to walk the area with Yvonne. Because I know our levels of plant knowledge and native landscaping are all different. Here, some of us are very comfortable, some not as comfortable, so I think just getting the lowdown from Yvonne on what are the priority tasks in this space would be most important.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
think for now, a good goal would be to take care of the pollinator gardens that we committed to. And then anything else is just helps us because we're struggling to keep up, so.
So this isn't a recurring, like, we're not signing up for, if we take it, it's not like every month, we're just.
I
for
think
this
these
time.
gardens, if you keep them weeded, probably just need to be addressed. Once they really get established, it should only be 2 or 3 times a year.
Okay,
But right now, it's, you know, there's not that many weeds, but until plants build their bulk, the weeds are gonna compete. for their
Okay.
spot.
in the beginning, you're gonna need more time than not.
okay, okay.
And when I emailed this to Katie, I was planning on doing it September, October, November. I figured December, there might not be a lot going on there, and I was gonna anticipate like how to pick up things in the spring. So I let her know all 3 dates that I was gonna be there, so she could put that in the calendar.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
if it's a small job, we can bag it up and take it out. I got
Yeah.
bags.
Yeah, or we can leave some barrels for
Yeah.
you. And to give you an idea, Ivory Crockett Park, I weeded, it was pretty weedy, and it took me by myself about 2.5 hours. But I don't stop, I just, so if that's, depends on who volunteers.
Right.
Just to
Sometimes
give
you
you an
get
idea,
slow.
concrete garden
Yeah.
took me 10 minutes to weed today.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's small, these places are small, so maybe you could do that and do the city hall garden, which would take you about 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Just to have them look good most of the time instead of bad most of the time, with the few times we get in and make them look good, so it's kind of the goal.
Okay.
Carrie, Jack from Webster University wants to participate and
Nice.
organize Webster University students. And I said I would act as volunteer
Oh,
lead.
cool.
So I'm gonna
Great.
get them together, hopefully, if there's interest, I think there will be.
That's great.
I might be able to apply that to some of these, but I gotta think about it a little more, but it looks promising.
Well, and I feel like. I don't know if Jack's skill level, you know him from working with you over the summer. I feel like
People
he can-
leads, but I'm not sure about ID.
Okay.
And I'll try to have someone on staff, or I will try to make these events too,
Well, I mean, the point is that you.
until everybody's
Okay.
comfortable.
Okay. All right, well, I will let you know, guys, how these dates progress. And with Katie and getting published to the calendar. And I will send this document. Actually, I'm gonna wait till I hear back from Katie and she says, yeah, this is exactly what the volunteer lead should send me.
Okay.
So I will wait to do that, but I will send out the list, the priority list. And this just has a little information about what, Yvonne was looking for at these particular spaces, and then the addresses on that.
Okay.
I don't know, I mean, maybe even Bill, I know you're not gonna, maybe I'm speaking for you, I apologize, but. I don't know if it's the kind of thing you could, rally your neighbor, I know you have a lot of knowledge when it comes to native plants. Is it something that you could rally some of your neighbors
I was just
around?
thinking to myself, who might, wanna help.
Yeah, so you may not have as much
I may be
physical,
wrong.
Yeah. but you might not have as much physical knowledge, but it's more your brain power, being able to
Physical
identify,
knowledge.
I'm sorry, physical.
I-
knowledge.
Yeah, that part seems, once I get started on the project, that part seems to work pretty well.
Okay, yeah. Anyway,
I don't think there's any chainsaw work to be done.
no, no, probably
It'd be
just
a little
we,
rough on the plants.
yeah. All right, so I'll send this list, as soon as I can.
Well, we got a lot more parks and we got people.
We gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And I was, Scott Davis did say I could go to the parks. He invited me to come to a Parks Commission meeting. Cause I thought Parks Commissioners,
Oh, yeah, they can.
they could
Sounds like it
do it
should.
too, right? Right, so he said, I don't know how many takers you'll get, but you're welcome to come. So I'm gonna do
Any
that.
Webster businesses approach to maybe if they support the garden, they get a sign that their business supports.
It's good.
Kind of like what the highway does, for pick up and maintain.
It's a really good idea.
Maybe.
I mean, if it doesn't really take a lot of time, if they get some benefit out of it, maybe some advertising.
Yeah,
This garden maintained by
Mhm.
volunteers of blah, blah, blah.
yeah. I think the trick with something like that is just making sure that there's someone there who's familiar with what should be there and what shouldn't be there, and
Yeah, but it sounds like the majority is just having some manpower to do the work.
but someone has to lead them, right? Someone
Yeah.
needs to be knowledgeable and know
Right.
what a native.
Especially in the fall when things look weedy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right, or the spring when things are very little and hard to identify.
It's a
Yeah.
great little, you've seen the little booklet. the
Yeah,
Conservation
MVC,
Department, yeah, of the
I use
seedlings.
that a lot, yeah. Okay, any questions about this, guys? So no real movement yet, other than I'll send you this, think about what site you wanna do. And I'll keep you posted on what Jenny says, and I'll let you know how it goes on Saturday.
And they all show what area that each park is supposed to,
There's a little,
that needs attention.
You'll work
Yeah.
with me on that.
Okay,
So
'cause
once
I'm
you say,
thinking like
hey, I think
Deer Creek Park down by the
Deer
creek is a
Creek's
big area.
it's a start over, basically. It's after the flooding,
Well, you're talking about the
Oh.
planting,
yeah.
not the stuff you planted along the creek bed and.
I think I would stick to this list.
Yeah, it's
as the
Upper Deer
list of
Creek.
Priorities,
Yeah.
right?
The Upper Deer Creek
Right
is
here.
more manageable.
Parking islands and edges of parking lot.
Yeah.
That's Upper Deer Creek.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where the
Yeah.
streetcar,
Lower's gonna get
where the streetcar
has to
ran.
have a
Yeah.
complete redo. So,
So I have a question. I would love to revisit this idea. Would it be possible for any of us as a leader to recruit a business?
Yeah, I think you guys can recruit whoever you
Whoever.
want, as long as you are there as a lead and liaison to the city, I think.
but I need to talk to my boss about
Oh, sure,
No.
okay.
signs and, you know,
Okay.
you start getting to where, you know, everything has a sign and,
Okay.
you know, what that would look like, whether the city
Sure.
wants that or not.
Okay, I'll hang back.
Okay.
But,
But I mean, it's,
Now, when Missouri Department of Conservation or MSD donates money for a project, they usually want to have a sign in it because they're donating, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars, but I don't know if part of that sign could have a little square in it that says and maintained by blah, blah, blah. So, but let me do my due
Sure.
diligence first
Sure.
before we start soliciting
and
businesses.
I would like to see us get the ball rolling and perhaps the Parks Commissioners before we say, you know, open it up too much bigger. Because we can make a big impact right here. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, the next item of old business is the Givens Elementary Back to School Bash. And it was to be a recap from Jerry, but Jerry was unable to attend the event because his father's health. And he is in Florida now, so we'll have to think about maybe next year participating. Okay, I think that's it for old business. New business, I'm gonna put something in front of the Make a Difference Day stuff, Yvonne, which would be
Okay.
a subcommittee update, because I think that'll be shorter. So Corin, thank you very much for meeting with the subcommittee members from the Sustainability Commission and would love it.
Great. I've just got a quick update from the subcommission. I came with Carla Armbruster and, oh shoot, now I'm blanking on her name.
Susan. Oh, no, she wasn't there.
Lori?
She was via
Is it
Zoom.
Lori? Well, if she's watching this recording, I'm sorry, I do know who you are. In any case, the three of us met, city personnel were unable to attend. We had some miscommunications just before, but not a big deal. We were just kind of checking in with each other. And the check-in was really, do we want to continue our shared initiatives? That being the speaker series, everyone said yes, but we wanted to confirm with our individual commissions. So I assume we want to keep going with our speaker series and collaborate with sustainability next year. That's pretty much it for item one. Item two being, do we want to continue to at least gently support revisions to our lighting ordinances and or the dark sky initiative that Linda had always been speaking in favor of? And everyone present said, yes, we are still interested. We don't know exactly what that's going to look like yet, but we are still in favor. And again, we wanted to check in with our individual commissions. So I'm assuming that this commission is also at least low level interested in that. And we checked in a month ago on that, so I was pretty confident there. Then the third item was just a reminder from me for all of them, which also will apply to all of you. that we recommended to the city that they update their stormwater master plan. And they did, which is a win for the city and for us and for sustainability. But unless we're able to leverage that into more funding from state or federal sources, it's a loss. So we want to make sure that we do acquire those sources. Ultimately, that's a city responsibility, but it may be that commissioners can help find funds, talk to personnel, talk to Stacy, Deer Creek, and just make sure that we're keeping that ball rolling so the city benefits from the investment instead of losing money. And that was it.
I wonder if we should take a vote on, continuing the eco ed series stuff. You guys didn't talk any more details, did you? Like,
No, just,
how?
I think I said, I recommended that we would meet again in the winter or early spring to confirm speakers, and that was it.
Okay. Okay, I need to do they have a schedule through like December?
They have at least one more speaker, but I'm not sure. That's Carla sent it to me, but it slipped my mind.
I was thinking it would just be, it would be easier on everybody if we kind of did maybe every other month instead of, yeah, because that's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
We could talk about it again.
Yeah, I think I'd like to pose that perhaps.
Okay. I suggested tentatively we might have another subcommission meeting in a couple months after we checked in on our own.
Okay,
So maybe in November before we shut down for the winter.
Okay,
We could do a
that
quick
sounds-
check-in.
that sounds good. I'm happy to go to that.
Great.
Jenny Starkey asked me to talk about the eco ed series.
Okay.
At this Thursday thing, but
Yeah.
I'll just ask Carla when the next one is scheduled and then say it's probably gonna pick up next spring.
Sounds good. Did you want to hold a vote to see if we're still in favor?
Yes.
Okay,
All
in.
I guess it's
Can I-
make a motion.
motion?
Make a motion.
I should make a
Make a
motion.
motion
All right.
to vote on.
I move that
Or
we
continue.
continue to support our collaboration with sustainability regarding our speaker series in the following year.
Second.
Is that? There you go. Yeah.
Second it
Okay,
And vote on it.
and then vote.
all in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous, all present, right?
Yes.
Jerry, of course, being absent, and I didn't see what Liz said.
Oh, I'm sorry, Liz.
I
Yeah,
voted
Good.
I saw fingers stick out around there.
Okay,
give a hand, an eye, and a finger.
Okay. Great. And I guess, the other two, I guess, really don't need
I don't think so. We were already doing them.
it, well, and I think they're kind of I think after the next meeting in November, we may be able to talk about more of a direction or something, but at this
Yeah.
point, there's really
Yeah.
nothing for us to do, the way I
agree.
understand it. Okay.
Hey, can I slip back to the garden maintenance thing for
Yeah.
a second?
Sure. Thank you
Are
for
the
that.
leaders supposed to be commission members?
Well, yes.
Like, see,
Or
I come off the
approved.
commission in what, a month or two?
Well, I think, or approved by Yvonne.
It could be anyone who
I
wants
got
to help.
fiber.
Yeah.
You're hired. You're hired.
Hired.
Yeah,
At minimum
I've
wage.
seen you work before. You're hired.
I think it's just someone that Yvonne
Okay,
comfortable
that's-
understanding.
I just suddenly hit me that, if it has to be
No,
a
it's,
commission member or something, then my signing up is.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people in Webster who are skilled enough to kind of lead this kind of group.
Mhm.
So if you
There
guys
is.
know those people, you could talk to them.
Well,
and-
those would be all the people who now volunteer for Forest Park Forever, which my husband and I do as well, so those,
Or like master naturalists.
that's us too,
Yeah.
so those work teams at Forest Park are so well organized, I mean, it's really great.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, so I know all the people are in Webster, what we calling them.
Good. I think Forest Relief has a really good
Oh, they
volunteer
do, true.
network like that.
Still going down
Tessa and, Jamie and, oh my God, we'll look at the list.
Glenn gave me good advice. He said volunteers like
Yeah, they would be,
snacks,
yeah.
like good snacks.
Okay. Is that it? Bill?
Hmm?
That was your question?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions for Corin for the subcommittee stuff?
No, thanks for going into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
It was fun. We went to Bread Company and I had a bear claw. It was not bad. Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
All right, then the last item of new business is the Make a Difference Day. The annual Make a Difference Day. Is
Yeah.
there a date set?
The 28th of October.
28th. Okay.
Of what?
October.
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 I'm out of town.
Corin.
Sorry.
All right, what, you got projects in mind?
I do. So I have 3 so far, and they should be hopefully on Civic Rec sometime soon, and then hopefully Jenny can promote it and link it to where you go sign up, click the waiver, and then once it's full, then those are your people. So the 3 that I have so far are Honeysuckle Sweep at Lorraine Davis Park. We're gonna do a trash bash too, Ginger. I don't know if you're up for that with your crew. And then that group is going to meet at Lorraine Davis and then split off and go clean Glen Park, Shady Creek, Nature Sanctuary, Deer Creek, and Marshall Trailhead. So
Great.
I'm looking for 40 volunteers for that. And I'm looking for 30 volunteers for the Honeysuckle Sweep. And then the third group will be, so at that time of year, we bring in all the annual containers from the business district. And the Rotary Club would dig all of that out for us. But this year, they're gonna actually be dismantling this fire pit at Blackburn Park, because we're taking those 2 old ones away and putting in some new barbecue grills at Blackburn Park Main Pavilion. So they're tied up with that. So if there's a big group that wants to wrestle with those containers and dig all the cannons and all.
Do all the containers wind up down at Waymire and then?
Yes, they'll all be there, and so it takes, they had 20 people, and it takes them every bit of 3.5, 4 hours to dig that stuff out. It's hard work. So, some older scouts, a group that wants to tackle that.
Do you need, in the past, you've, I guess, had more groups and asked if one of us could kind of help
Yeah.
lead some things, is that?
This was
doesn't
just a
sound like it's
start.
gonna be. No, okay.
There could easily be 8 to 9 more events. I'm just keeping it low key because I have very limited staff who is stretched to the limits. And having them work weekends when they're already working weekends, and we have a cross-country meet that day, and I have to supply 2 staff for that. And I don't have very much staff, so
Hire Griffin to work the cross-country meet, like he could come work.
he's still on the payroll. So
You want me to ask him?
He's
if he
still
wants
on the
to help? Like,
time
if you
clock.
needed to help with stuff like that,
Yeah,
he probably could and would.
yeah, I mentioned it to him. He just is a man of few words.
Yeah, he is, he is.
Yeah,
I'll
I would
remind
love to
him
have
that
him
he-
help with
okay.
that. That would
Okay.
be wonderful. So.
So you want us to just sign up to help at one of those 3 things?
Yeah, so I
Okay.
need 3 lead people for those 3 events. And then as things add up, if people call and say, hey, we want to go do this at blah, 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 then I'll say, hey, we have another event. And then usually there'll be a lead person who's asking, so.
Okay.
We may or may not need more green space people.
Question for the Deer Creek, Shade Creek, do you need multiple leads for that?
Yes,
I've helped you in the past multiple times.
yes, that would be excellent if Ginger, you
Yeah, I'd
and
happily
Ginger
help with the
could
trash
coordinate
Liz,
that.
she's in Shady Creek, not trying to volunteer here, but
Raise your hand.
she's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if the 3 of you could sort of meet at Lorraine Davis that morning and break off into your groups and go.
Let me
tackle
make
the
sure that I
trash.
should be available. I always do it, so.
Okay, that would be
And
wonderful.
I could help at Waymire.
The service center, okay. that would-
So Lorraine Davis, new honeysuckle
New
area or
honeysuckle,
just
It's
cleaning
just
up what you've
go
done?
back and keep what we've started clean and pull vines off of trees and any invasives, that kind of thing.
Can you send us a list?
I will, well, I'm Oh, rec center's going to put it on Civic Rec and then you can go look at it.
Okay,
And then you can sign up as, tell me you're gonna be the
It's gonna
lead
be on what?
on, it's called Civic Rec, which is the rec center's. If you wanna do an activity at the rec center, then, you know, you just sign up and,
I say I never heard of it.
I didn't know about that either.
yeah. So
That's
I need
where
to get Jenny to
our things will
post
be.
it, put a link to Civic Rec, you go into Civic Rec, you sign up. And then, once you sign up, you're in there and you can do
Oh,
any
okay.
other event, or, so if you're already in there, if you already do activities at the rec, you're already in there. But then you go to the Greenkeepers page
Oh,
and
mhm.
you'll click on, but it's not on there yet, I sent it.
Okay, I was gonna
And they
say, I'm
haven't
always,
confirmed that it's on there yet.
okay,
So as soon as we get that on there,
okay.
then you.
Well,
can
that'll
check
make,
it.
yeah, that's what's supposed to make it so much easier, you know.
And then you
be
can
able-
click the waiver, instead of printing the waiver out and bringing it,
Mhm.
you click that you agree to the terms and it stays digital and I haven't have to.
And you can sign this online now, can't you?
These events aren't on there yet, I.
No, no, but when
Okay.
when you do the waiver, you can do it all online. You don't have
Yeah.
to print it out.
Yes, no more printing out the
Okay, 'cause
waiver.
I don't have a printer right now.
Is there like an easy flyer or something for posting these to start getting people?
Yes, I asked Katie and Dan to, if they could put together a flyer and they just haven't responded yet because they're busy doing things, so. I will ask again and,
Yeah, will you send it to me as soon as you have it? Because I can put that
Yep.
on Shade Creek and some places that I think it would get people to save the time, you know? October's such a busy month. I feel like the sooner we can get it out there, the
oh,
better.
yeah. Mhm. Okay, I will do that.
All right. Any other make a difference, Dave? Thoughts, questions? Okay, our council liaison update is not gonna happen today. It's okay. I think where is, unless she's in like Liberty and some like Jefferson City, she's at some
Yeah,
statewide
council thing.
council thing.
League of.
Representing League of Councilmen. All right, then the last item is our city liaison update.
I don't have anything other than what we talked about.
Okay. All right, guys. I think we've made it through another meeting. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And feel free to reach out to me with any questions about anything. And we will see each other on October the 2nd. Back here. Thanks, Liz.
Adjourn.
Two.
Hi, guys.
Yeah. Move.
Hi, Liz. Oh, yeah, move to adjourn. Make a adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Everybody adjourned.
All right.
Silent.
Pleasure meeting you all. Thank you for listening and taking